Hi, I'm Michelle and welcome to my channel. When most of us think about retirement planning, we picture numbers on a spreadsheet, savings accounts, pensions, and investments. And that was me too. I was obsessed over making sure that the financial side was secure. But then I thought, what if I reached all of those financial goals? What would it matter if I hadn't thought about the mark that I want to leave on the world? The love, the lessons, the stories, the values. That's when I realized retirement isn't just about preparing to stop working. It's about preparing to keep living with meaning. We can all redefine what legacy means to us and how we can begin crafting one that truly reflects us and the impact that we want to have. When we hear the word legacy, most of us immediately think of money that we'll leave behind for our kids or grandkids or an organization that we care about. But in reality, money fades. What truly lasts is the imprint of our lives, the values that we modeled, the wisdom we passed down, and the connections that we nurtured. A legacy isn't just about dollars in a bank account. It's about moments of encouragement and the lessons that you taught without even realizing it, and the way people feel when they think about you. So instead of only asking, how much will I have in retirement, maybe the better question is, what will continue to live on because of the life I built? Retirement then isn't just about an ending, it's about a reimagination. We spend so much of our lives focused on financial investments, retirement accounts, interest rates, returns on stock, but some of the most long-lasting investments we'll ever make are the ones you can't track with numbers. I like to think of these as unseen investments. The first one is relationships. Every call you make to check on a friend, and every holiday tradition that you keep alive, and every time you show up for your friends and family, that's building wealth. Not the kind that can be deposited in a bank, but the kind that compounds in people's hearts. When you invest in people, that's a legacy that carries forward long after you're gone. Then there's the wealth of knowledge that you've built over a lifetime. Think about it, the skills, the experiences, the lessons that you've learned, sometimes the hard way. Sharing your stories with your children, teaching your grandkids a skill, or mentoring someone in your community, or even writing down your memories. This is wisdom that will ripple out for generations. And let's talk about health. This one often gets overlooked, but your well-being is the foundation of everything else. If you don't have the energy to engage with your passions or connect with your loved ones, your legacy becomes harder to live out. Taking care of your body through walks, nourishing food, and movement you enjoy so that you can continue to actively shape the impact that you want to leave behind. Unseen investments don't just happen in the big moments. They're in the everyday choices, choosing to be present at dinner instead of scrolling your phone, or listening deeply when someone needs to talk, making the effort to connect even when you're busy. These may feel small, but just like compound interest in a retirement account, they grow into something far bigger than we realize. One of the biggest misconceptions about legacy is that it has to be grand, serious, or something only certain people get to leave behind. But the truth is, your legacy often flows out of your passions, the things that you already love to do, the things that make you feel alive. So here's a question to ask yourself. What brings me joy? What lights me up? And how could this passion serve others? Maybe you've always loved gardening. What if your legacy was not just the flowers and the vegetables you grew, but in the way that you taught others to care for the earth? Or maybe you're a natural storyteller. Imagine recording your life stories or even writing them down in a simple journal. One day, others could read those words and feel as if they knew you personally. That's legacy. For some, it might be creativity, such as painting, sewing, writing children's books, or making music. You don't have to be world famous for your creativity to matter. Every piece of art or story that carries your heart in it becomes a gift, whether it lives on someone's walls or in a community library or in the laughter of a child who hears your words. And for others, passion shows up as service. Maybe you've always had a heart for helping other people, and now you may have the time to volunteer at a food bank or mentor young entrepreneurs, or advocate for causes that you care about. Sometimes your voice, your time, or simply your presence is more powerful than any financial gift that you could give. What's important is realizing that your passions aren't random, they're clues. They're little road signs pointing you towards your unique contribution only you can make. And the best part is passions evolve. What excites you today may look different in 10 years, but it all becomes part of your contribution blueprint. So instead of asking, what legacy should I leave? Try asking, how can my passions become a gift to others right now? Because when you align your joy with someone else's needs, that's when legacy becomes alive and deeply meaningful. One of the best ways that we can shape legacy is by building bridges between generations. When you share your story, you give younger people not just information, but perspective. You show them resilience, perseverance, and creativity, all the things that don't come from books. And this can be as simple as keeping a journal, recording short voice memos, or creating a digital photo archive, or even sitting down to record oral histories with your kids and grandkids. Legacy lives in those small exchanges, like when you teach your granddaughter your favorite recipe, or when you tell your niece about how you handled challenges. When you let the next generation see the real you, not just the polished parts. And in turn, you inspire them to craft lives that are equally meaningful. Legacy isn't just about something that happens when we're gone. Legacy is something that we live right here, right now. It's easy to think of legacy as a future thing, the big project, the one you'll finish, the foundation that you might set up, the financial gifts that you'll leave behind. But your legacy is also woven into the fabric of your everyday life. It shows up in the small intentional choices that you make. It's the way you speak encouragement into someone's day, and it's the patience that you show to others. It's in the volunteer hours that you give at your local library or time you spend helping a neighbor with their groceries. These moments might seem ordinary to you, but to someone else they can be life-changing. Living your legacy also means letting go of the idea that it's too late. Maybe you've thought, I should have started years ago. But every day you wake up is another chance to add to your story. A legacy doesn't need decades to grow. It grows with consistency, intention, and love. Even one small action can create a ripple that you'll never fully see. So when I talk about living legacy, I don't mean some grand, unreachable vision. I mean the life that you're choosing to live today. How you show up, how you love, and how you give. Because legacy isn't just about what you leave behind when you're gone. It's what you create right now with every choice that you make. So as you think about your future, I encourage you to ask not just, will I have enough, but also what will I leave behind through my words, my actions, and my passions. Your legacy isn't just measured in financial terms. It's measured in love, wisdom, and creativity and connection. Thank you so much for watching.